Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Coffee's hot, frequency's alive. 145.430. You're listening to the morning hum. This is the Coffee Break Net. Steam rising with the sunrise glow. Signals bouncing nice and low. Foothill light and silicon sky. Morning check-ins rolling by. Call sign ready, mic in hand. Voices drifting through the band. RF dancing in the air. Someone's mobile somewhere out there. Keyed up, drop your sign. One at a time. You're sounding fine. Sip so don't rush the day. Net control will lead the way. Coffee on the console. Radio's awake. Morning on the machine. Give and take. Voices in the speaker, smooth and clean. So like riding on the beam. Checking out, don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. From the hills to the bay. W6EK Echo Keel starts the day. Check in. AllStarLink been feeling strong. Echolink brings friends along. Mobile base or handheld tight. Everyone sounding right. Morning traffic rolling through. Signal reports 5x2. Laughing in between the keys. Coffee cup and people ours. Mic drop, carry a tone. You're never really alone. One more round, take your place. Good vibes on the interface. Coffee on the console. Radio's awake. Morning on the machine. Give and take. Voices and the speaker, smooth and clean. Sunlight riding on the beam. Check it out. Don't hesitate. This is how we caffeinate. Morning voices, RF stream. Coffee break, live on the machine. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Coffee's hot. Frequency's alive. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Good morning. Voices. Stand by. Stand by. Good morning, operators. Stand by. Stand by. Good morning, operators. Stand by.
Good morning, everyone. It is time for the Coffee Break Net. The Coffee Break Net is sponsored by the Sierra Foothills Amateur Radio Club on the W6EK Repeater located in Auburn, California. I'm Theta, W6EWF, and along with Gerry, W6E, we will be your net control hosts and conversation facilitators on this lovely morning. Who's out there who wants to do a quick in and out and get their day on the road?
N6EKV.
Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Bravo Hotel, Tim, West Sacramento.
KJ5, Golf Whiskey November.
Kilo Oscar 6, India Hotel Juliet.
Okay, let's see. We got Kilo Oscar 6 IHJ, Larry, and KJ5GWN, Will, KO6 KBH, Tim, and N6CKV, Carl. It was all very nicely spaced out. I don't think we missed anybody, so let's go up to Carl. How are you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning, Theta, Gerry, and Rocky. Doing good. The sun's starting to come up, and I have nothing on the schedule today, so I'm just going to do odds and ends around the house and take care of a few things and see how the day goes.
You have to go out and mow the lawn soon. Gerry had to go down and mow the pasture. It was getting knee deep.
Well, I have some work done on my back, so I have to wait another 2 weeks for it to be off. And how else are you guys doing?
Something to look forward to. Well, heal up and enjoy your day. Say hi to Ruth for us. KO6KBH. Tim, good morning.
Good morning, Theta and the net. Hope everyone's doing well. Sorry for anybody that was on frequency last night on this repeater. I'm going to repeat myself and toot my own horn a little bit. I was able to make a contact via the ISS last night, so thought I'd come in here and brag a little bit because I'm extra braggadocious this morning. So anyway, hope everyone's having a great day. This is KO6 KBH, and back to you.
Well, who did you work, and how long were you able to keep in contact with them?
I worked KV6, Whiskey Victor 6, Victor, I believe. I'm forgetting his, I'm mobile right now, so I don't have his call in front of me, but he was in Las Vegas. I did QRZ it, and we were only in contact for, just enough to exchange call signs. And there were several people on the ISS last night. I heard a lot of contacts being made. It was pretty cool. Let's see, it was only above the horizon for 6 minutes, and it took about a minute for me to figure it all out. But once I got it going, it was pretty cool. I even was able to get out my phone and grab a quick clip of some contacts being made. So. I was pretty exhilarated after that and couldn't go to bed. It happened at about 8:30, 9 o'clock last night. So anybody who hasn't tried it, give it a try. It's a lot of fun.
Well, congratulations. That is an accomplishment. And having fun with ham radio, what a radical idea.
Absolutely. It was pretty cool. I never thought that I would use the International Space Station to make contact via I just used a Baofeng BFF 8, which is basically a UV5R. So yeah, pretty cool.
That's incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. 7-3 Theta, 7-3 Net.
7-3 Tim, KO6 W6KBH. This is W6EWF, KJ5GWN. Will, good morning.
Good morning, Theta. Well, the severe weather has passed. I think we broke the all-time record for March tornadoes in Oklahoma. I think we had 18 in the space of about 3 days. So had some people get hurt, had 4 people lose their lives in the ordeal, but fortunately not me. I'm still living and breathing. Otherwise, I wouldn't be talking to you right now. So anyway, going to be a little bit cooler today. I'm going to be in the high 60s, which is more typical for March. So anyway, not doing too much else other than that. So anyway, back over there to you, Theta. This is KJ5 Golf Whiskey November.
Well, Will, that's pretty scary. 18 tornadoes in 3 days. You're okay, but did any of them come close to you?
Had one hit over in Midwest City, which is about 30 minutes east of me. So that's as close as they got, but none of them hit directly over this direction.
Well, yeah, you want those things to stay far away and hopefully just running down fields and out, not knocking down anybody's house or barn. It's tragic when that happens, and there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. But well, we're sending our thoughts your way and hope that you stay safe.
Yeah, the one that hit Tuesday was a little bit closer than I would have liked, but, you know, it stayed about 30 minutes east of me, so, you know, got kind of close to my friend that lives in Midwest City, so was kind of concerned about her, and some people were concerned about me, so, Cole left me messages on my answering machine. So anyway, got a lot to do today. Got medicine I need to think about trying to go pick up in a day or two. So anyway, got things to do, Theta. This is KJ5 Golf Whiskey November. Back to you, 7-3 all.
Well, Will, I hope you have a good day and stay safe. Good morning, Larry, KO6IHJ. What new project are you and Tom working on?
Good morning, Theta, Gerry, Rocky. Love to Bezo out there in the doggy planet. He's out there somewhere. KO6IHJ here. Yeah, he brought a couple small items in. He brought me a VLA 200 FM amplifier I've been playing with. It's nice. Another amplifier over here. We did a video on the AllStarLink. I will say this correction. We didn't. He maybe heard the AllStar dummy load. I don't know what's going on this week, Theta. It's been casual.
Gerry wants to know what the status of your car rebuild is.
Still sitting up there. I'm going to go check it out tomorrow.
Oh, well, what fun. I'm sure you're anxious to get that back. Gerry may have told you I had a Javelin. When we got married, I was driving a Javelin. And then he and my dad traded it off for an Audi one day. But I loved my javelin. Gerry says it was falling apart. No, it wasn't. I loved it.
Roger that. They were made for a few years, and if you didn't keep the bolts tight, they would shake loose on the road. All righty. I'm going to let you get back to it then. Hey, everybody have a great day out there. The weather's going to be nice. I have to put the cameras on you. Oh, it's nice and sunny and blue skies. All right. So everybody have a blessed day today. Be careful out there. It's going to get hot. We're not used to it yet. Start thinking about hydrate, hydrate, hydrate. I know. Oh, it's not that hot, Larry. It will be. If you sweat, you need water. Kilo 6 ISA Theta, sending back to you. Thanks for running the net. 7-3.
Yeah, we're going to get positively comfortable in the next few days. You have a great day, Larry. This is W6EK for the Coffee Break Net. Let's see, National Day is today. This is National Girl Scout Day. If you see a Girl Scout and if she's selling cookies, buy cookies. I got to go find a grocery store on the weekend and get our stash of cookies. It is that time. It is Alfred Hitchcock Day. What's your favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie? It's Aztec New Year. I don't know the significance of that, and even if we need to celebrate it, but there it is. It's Baked Scallops Day. Plant a Flower. Working Moms Day. I would celebrated that many years ago. And Popcorn Lovers Day. So those are the significant national days today. Let's do another round of in and outs, and then we'll get the show on the road.
Good morning, Theta, KB6SSN. Kilo Bravo 6, Lima Uniform Victor. Good morning. Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, over.
All right, I got KB6ED. That looked like a P, but ED. And then there was a K6 something MR something. What's your complete call sign?
Yes, Kilo Oscar 6, Kilo Mike Romeo, over.
Kilo Mike Romeo. Okay, got you. Get right back to you. KB6LUV, Brett, good morning. And KB6SSM, Tom. Good morning, Tom.
Well, good morning, Theta. I hope everyone's doing well this morning. KB6SSN Tom here, and good morning to the net as well. Well, let's see here. Larry brought up the dummy load, the PALSTAR DL2K dummy load. Now, we have used that several times in the past, and we've put more power into it than we put into it this time. But, when we were in the process of tuning up the Henry 2K, it smoked. And I am in contact with PALSTAR now to have that problem rectified. So, anyway, it's National Alfred Hitchcock Day. Now, there's an interesting note in Alfred Hitchcock movies, of which some people may not be aware. Most Hitchcock fans are. And that is that Alfred Hitchcock is in every single movie that he made. If you look, he's the butler in the background. He's the waiter walking by with the tray. He's something in a movie. He's somewhere in the background, but he's in the movie. Now, that brings us to the movie Lifeboat that is set in a lifeboat at sea. It's kind of a captive set. Nobody, well, there's a couple people die, but nobody leaves, nobody joins. And Alfred Hitchcock is not on the boat. So how do you think he got himself into that movie?
He was either on the boat that sank or the boat that rescued them. I don't recall I ever saw that movie.
Well, it's one of his best. It's very well done. And because of the fact that they couldn't have him swim by in the background or whatnot, there is a scene in which Tallulah Bankhead opens up a newspaper to read it, and there on the front page of the newspaper is Alfred Hitchcock's picture.
Oh, okay, that's funny. Yes, I know sometimes I have completely lost the storyline. I've been so busy looking at the characters in the background trying to pick him out. So that's good and bad. So, but yeah, I don't think I'm pretty sure I've never seen Lifeboat, which is funny. I thought I'd seen them all.
Well, it's a very interesting movie. It takes place obviously on a lifeboat. A ship of some sort, I forget which, was sunk by a U-boat during the war, and the survivors taken to the lifeboats, and this is the chronicling of the happenings on that particular lifeboat, and the mix of people that are on the boat and that kind of thing. It's really quite interesting. One of his better movies, in my opinion. So, anyway, have a great day, 7-3, and we'll talk to you soon. KB6 SSN.
7-3, Tom, you have a great day, too. KB6LUV, good morning, Brett.
Good morning, Theta, Gerry, Rocky, Coffee Break Net Land, and Mom, Bonnie in Newton, Kansas. Morning, Mom. Love you. Hope you're having a good day. Not a whole lot going on here. It is a absolutely gorgeous morning here in South Natomas. That big orange ball is starting to make its appearance in the sky. And I will be out further getting the pool ready to open it up for the 90-degree weather we're having next week. What is going on?
Well, in my years of living here, that's been kind of the pattern. It's winter, 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 spring, summer. So, yeah. Well, at least you have a pool to jump into, and that will be fun. How early can you get into the pool and not freeze to death? I think that's the question now.
Yeah, it's for me. It's I need the pool I need the outside to be in the area of 95, and probably a couple of days like that for the pool to take the edge off, because right now that water is cold, cold, cold. So anyway, quick in and out. So good morning to you both. Thank you for running the net this morning. It's always a joy to hear you guys. Don't have a whole lot on tap. Just regular stuff, recruiting world, pool stuff. Maybe do a quick review of the taxes that I've gotten all together and sent to my tax accountant, just to make sure I've got all T's dotted and I's crossed. Hi.
Well, doing taxes isn't rocket surgery.
No, but it sure hurts like it's surgery. I can't stand taxes. As they say, two constants in life: death and taxes. And sometimes I think I might prefer death. Just kidding.
And somebody still has to worry about the taxes, so yeah, you keep doing them as long as possible.
I figure it's a blessing to be able to do taxes, right? I mean, I've always said, people that complain about taxes, and this is for me as well, give me $1 million tax bill, because that means that I was, just falling out of control. So, anyway, again, thank you very much for being there. Theta, Gerry, Rocky, everybody up there in Coffee Break Net Land, have an amazing day. Oh, Alfred Hitchcock Day. My favorite movie is probably Rear Window. But that's also because I like people watching. So, all right. And with that, I will say again, have a wonderful day. Everybody be blessed. Take care of yourselves. Take care of each other. KEB6LUV. Be of love. 73. Clear and listening.
7-3, Brett, and good morning, Bonnie in Newton, Kansas. Hope you're in listening too, and have a good day. KO6KMR. Robert, good morning.
Good morning, Theta and the group. Excuse me. Still continuing my education with the extra class. We're down to three classes plus a review session, which won't be bad. On Saturday, we're building an antenna. Looked at it a little bit online. It's a W6EK antenna build, so that'll be kind of interesting. Right now, I'm studying antennas. A little bit of mathematics on it, which isn't too bad. It's pretty straightforward stuff. And other than that, I'm reviewing the ARL extra review hams, and then I'm taking the tests that the hamstudy.org gives out for the extra class and stuff like that. Doing pretty well, averaging probably 80, 85 on those right now. So that's not too bad with, I feel like, with actually 3 classes still to go, and so I think I'm gonna make it. Over.
Well, sounds like you're going to ace it by the time the test rolls around on the 6th of April. So look forward to hearing that you would join the extra classes.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll probably be there on the 6th. I actually thought about even just trying the class test a little early, but I think I will go ahead and wait on the whole thing and get the whole background of everything before I take the test. But looking forward to it. If I don't vapor lock on the test, I ought to do okay. Over.
Well, you go study hard and take your study materials outside and get a little natural vitamin D. You have a great day. This is W6EWF, and this is the Coffee Break Net. KB6ED, Ed, morning. Are you here or are you there?
Good morning, Theta, Gerry, and the net. I'm there. I'm up here in Red Valley, and it's going to be a beautiful, productive day. Outside work. I'm working on building back the muscle that diminished over the winter. My arms are feeling pretty wimpy, but they'll get there. So that's just going to come with digging in and getting to work. And so that's what's up today. And Alfred Hitchcock, I got to go with that cliche of the birds. That movie actually really scared me when I was a kid. I'm pretty sure I saw it in the theater right in the town next to where I'm at here in Red Valley, Ukiah, the little Ukiah Theater. And I can't believe how real it all looked to me. When I was a kid, I didn't see I try and watch it today, and it's like, those effects are lousy. But it was pretty grand at the time, and really, I can, remember particular scenes that really stood out and scared me. And definitely that gas station scene where the guy tosses a cigar on the ground and he's just waiting, anticipating. And it was also fun to hop over to Bodega Bay and see where an actual movie was made.
Oh, yeah. The phone booth, I'm sure, is not still there.
Yeah, you've probably been to the Tides restaurant. My understanding is that sits at the location where that gas station was. But back then, you could go over to Bodega Bay, and it was all, I don't know about the particular phone booth, but the gas station and all that was still there. But it was a big highlight because there just weren't as many movies being made back in those days, and so to actually go see a location where a movie was made was a pretty grand thing.
Yeah, that's kind of like when we went to Astoria and we saw the location of the house for the Goonies. It's where the Goonies were made. That was, you stand out there and you go, that's interesting. Yeah, kind of nostalgic.
Yeah, kind of the same thing with Mendocino, being able to go up and point over and say, that's where Summer of 42 was filmed. Anyway, short in and out. Gonna get on with the day. I hope you have a great day. KB6ED 7. What's your favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie?
I think it's a toss-up between Vertigo and North by Northwest. But I think I'd lean more toward Northwest. If for nothing else, then it was just so spectacular to see them clamoring all over the top of the Mount Rushmore.
Well, and that dashing Cary Grant is pretty spectacular himself. Yeah, that's like my second favorite. Anyway, I'll let you go, KB6ED 73.
And this is the Coffee Break Net. I am W6EK Theta, and we are here to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So, if you want to be a quick in and out, let me know. We'll put you at the top of the list. Otherwise, come have a little chat with me. This is W6EK. Who's out there?
N9MUF.
KCA. N9 Fox Queen Victor. Good morning. Mark in Ohio. KC8FQV.
WB6LPJ.
Okay, let's see. We have three that we could hear, and then there were some doubles in there. So we have WB6LPJ, Don, and KC8FQV, Mark, and N9MUF. So who tried to get in and didn't quite make it?
KO6MMI. This is Jeff in Roseville.
Okay, Jeff, KO6MMI. We got you on the list. So go up to Daniel. Good morning, Daniel. How are things in your neck of the woods today?
Good morning, Theta and Gerry and Nat. They are very good. We've got sunshine, although it's still chilly out. So definitely, and I've got too much on my plate today to even think about a POTA.
Oh, that's tragic. If you were to be able to do a POTA, where would you go?
I think we'd go down to Milliken Park, US 4120. There are three more parks that we want to check out, but I was going to wait until it warms up and probably check them out on motorcycle rather than trying to do a POTA without having pre-scouted first. Although there's one that I think the next time that we do a POTA without my wife will do, because it's a mile walk to get to the actual POTA site that we would want to do, and my wife could not walk that far.
Understand. Well, but you have too much work to do, so what have you got going on?
Is 8 a.m.
Today will be errand day. I've got a bunch of things that we've needed to take care of, things that need to be picked up, trip to the gas station. But I was changing the strings on one of my guitars last night, and the tuning peg came apart, and unfortunately, it's one that I need back by next Sunday, so I'm going to go ahead and drop that off for repair, and an acoustic that needs a sound hole repair, just a little bit of hide glue there, and I am going to throw in the towel on another one. I know how to do my own guitar setups on electrics. I've built them. I think I know what I'm doing, but I cannot get this sucker set up. And before we take it back to the manufacturer, I want to throw it at more professional eyes and see if I can get a second opinion on it.
Well, that sounds serious and probably very frustrating for you.
It is. I mean, the nature of the intonation problems are such, you don't notice it as much when you're playing in first position, but boy, if you want to move up and take a solo, you can absolutely hear it. So, yeah, 3 guitars to Tobias, which is a wonderful, wonderful music store here in Chicagoland. Can also be very dangerous in that sense. Maybe it's a good thing that I'm unemployed at the moment, because the credit card would try to burn a hole in my pocket if I walked in there and had cash on hand.
Oh, well, just to be safe, leave your credit card home when you go visit there.
Doesn't work. I could say, hold this guitar for me, and they would. I guess it's both a good and a bad thing having a reputation at a lot of the Chicago music stores.
Well, we'll call it a positive thing overall. At least they don't tell you, get out of here, you bum, when you walk through the door.
Actually, Tobias is not only person-friendly, they're dog-friendly. The last time I went to pick up a guitar, I brought our Basset with me. She was absolutely thrilled, got a lot of treats from them, which they gladly give out to any dog that comes in. They've got hooks on the counter so that if you need to, you can wrap your dog leash around it to temporarily grab or carry something. So, and they post very clearly, dogs are always welcome in here.
Well, how nice. That is very dog friendly when they have, well, actually, that's very smart of them. Oh, this is dog friendly. I can go in there and I can just hook the dog to the counter and get out that credit card and buy wonderful things. That's very smart. Good marketing.
It is. It's been a family store for quite some time. They're one of the premier Chicago tailor dealers. I guess the best way I could describe that in terms of cost ratio would be like buying a Flex or an Elecraft, but by the time the tailor gets into your hands, you know it's been set up properly and is one of the, I think they actually get to hand select the tailors that they put in their shop. They've got such a good relationship with Taylor.
Well, that's nice. So I suspect that electric guitar you're working with didn't come through them?
No, it didn't. I picked them. It's a custom by a company called Warrior. My music partner had told Warrior over the last, the 2 years prior to me going out to NAMM, what I liked about Telecasters. And I got there and they said, here, try this one out. And after 20 minutes, it took me a while to decide to actually buy it because it's the priciest, it's the most I've ever spent on a guitar. But I stepped out of the booth and I said to my partner, look, I don't smoke, but I need a cigarette.
Oh, and then you got it home and it doesn't work right? That's sad.
It works. It's just that you don't notice things like off intonation, and I've worked with it for hours to try and set it up, and something is just, it's either not right or it is one of these stupid things that I am just missing. So that's why I'd like to get a second opinion. We've already talked to Warrior about it. We'd ship it down and then drive down to pick it up ourselves. Oh darn, oh shucks, a trip to Georgia to see more guitars. Whatever should we do?
Oh no! Don't make me drive down there to go to their store. No.
But yes, Warrior makes absolutely fantastic guitars and basses. My partner's got 3 custom basses. Absolutely beautiful, just great tone. And this guitar, has custom Seymour Duncan pickups, a little on the hotter side. It's a Tele clone, and just tremendous, absolutely tremendous. I do have it down for a couple of songs, and in first position, and I'd like to get it properly set up before I use it for any more.
Well, very good. And what is the cat status? What does the cat have to say about things this morning?
She is currently on my lap and absolutely purring away. She's doing the classic bones. What are bones? And draped out and getting pets and twitching her tail in a very happily enjoying it sort of way. At some point I might have to move her because I'd like to get some exercise. I've got a little under the desk exercise machine that I need to finish using. But in the meantime, she wins.
As a cat should. Very good. Well, that's very soothing for you. Cat purr, they say, is that they purr at just the right frequency to make our brains go calm again. So there you go.
They really do, and she's very chirrupy. I couldn't get my work on my guitar yesterday during the afternoon because she was asleep on my guitar table, and so as I started giving her gentle pets, she just started murring and chirping. She's also discovered that my guitar cases make very good cat boxes, and I pointed out to her that she was not going to be able to survive in there once I put the guitar in and closed it. And she looked at me and you wouldn't do that to me look.
Well, she's small enough she could squeeze through the sound hole in the front, and then you'd really wonder what was wrong with your guitar.
Or what was right. I don't know. Could be an interesting experiment. Well, Maeve, I guess you're going to take some permanent residence in one of the guitars. All right. Well, I should have passed it on. Since I'm at the top of this, I should pass it back so you can get to the rest of the group. 7-3 to you and Gerry and the Net, Theta, and 9MUF.
7-3. Daniel, you have a great day and be very productive. KC8 FQV. Mark, I had to scoot forward close enough to see my computer screen. Good morning, Mark.
Yep, good morning, KCFQV here. Well, sun's up, 31 degrees. I stopped at the morning grind net. That what got me over here. And then it got me to the Skywarn net just before the morning grind. And we did our trivia net this morning and the barometer net. Yeah, the internet was being a little hasty over at the tower site. But everything else is going good. So, just listening to the TV here and seeing what's happening and listening to the net. Yeah, I stopped in last night over on the Zoom session and seeing the people. Yeah, I just came off another Zoom session before that out in Seattle, Washington. Yeah, I had a ton of nuts last night, too. So I just wanted to stop in and say good morning to everyone. And we'll send it back to Net Control, KC8FQV. Yeah, I even heard Mark this morning. KVN 6, KVN BJN, yeah, better jump now. BJN 6, BJN. Heard him on the net this morning. Whatever else is going good, so we'll send it back to that. Let's call it Yeah, I'm getting dry mouth. I need to get more liquid. KC8FQV, back to net control.
Well, it sounds like the radio is keeping you busy, which is a good thing. You have a great day, Mark, and keep listening to fun things. A morning trivia net. We enjoy our trivia nets. So on the first and third Friday at 7:30, of course that keeps you awake early, or awake late rather. So that's a possibility for you too. This is W6EK. This is the Coffee Break Net. The W6LPJ. Don, good morning. You got your motorhome back yet?
Good morning, Theta, and I know Gerry is, just 1 second, please. Just wanted to get rid of that frog. Doing well, thank you, and hope you guys are fine. He did get home back. It was just a couple days there, and they found no problems whatsoever. So that was good news, actually. So, yep, I'll just drive it with confidence. But of course, who can afford gasoline at this point?
Oh, really? We saw one yesterday that was $6 a gallon for diesel. So yes. Well, if you go someplace, you just suck it up and buy enough gas to get you there, and then stay until the prices go down.
Yeah, that's probably a better solution. I got a kick out of the discussions of Alfred Hitchcock this morning. I too have been a fan of his, and I have witnessed his presence in a lot of his movies. And you mentioned North by Northwest. I do have a spoiler alert within the movie. I thought I'd maybe pass it on to you, but in fact, you may actually be aware of it, but I'm just not. I didn't want to say anything unless I warned you.
Oh, at this point, I can be spoiled. Okay, go ahead.
There's a scene where they're at Mount Rushmore, and I guess it's been so many years since I've seen the film, but they were in like a cafeteria or some public place where the gunmen were coming through. I think Cary Grant was being chased at that point, but it showed a wide shot of like a cafeteria, and evidently I had heard that Alfred Hitchcock was not popular for what they called looking through the lens. In other words, I guess he didn't actually witness or replay what the camera actually saw. And during this scene, they must have shot it multiple times. There's a young man on the right side of the screen, and everybody else is doing their unfocused thing in the background, except this one kid is looking. His head is kind of faced towards the left, looking at the actors coming running in, and there's going to be a gunshot fired. Just before the gunshot goes off, the kid kind of ducks his head, puts his fingers in his ears. So it's a very, very obvious. He was expecting the gun to go off, so he put his fingers in his ears.
Oh, that's funny. I can't say that I've ever noticed that. Now I'm going to have to go on Netflix and see if any of these movies are still available to watch.
Yeah, I don't know that I actually have a favorite. I don't recall who it was that said that the bird scared him, and it did. Oh yeah, it had quite an impact on me as well. I don't think I really have an Alfred Hitchcock favorite, although I do like to watch his little half-hour TV programs that he had from time to time. Those were really, really excellent for the time. And I don't recall them, of course, first play, but I do enjoy watching them now.
Oh yeah, and I can visualize the opening scene of that where he either walks into his silhouette or his silhouette turns into him. I don't remember which it is, but there's the silhouette and then there's Hitchcock.
Right. Yeah, that's and then early on, of course, they had the really early films, which I catch from time to time, where the silhouette wasn't even present yet. So you could tell that the program had changed over the years. Well, let's see. Other than that, I have let's see. I'm finalizing a residential StarLink connection. So it's working famously here, as you well know. So we've kicked AT&T to the curb, and couldn't be happier for that. And then doing some work on the motorcycle, get that going, and hopefully make the club meeting on Friday night.
Oh, very good. Very good. You going to ride your motorcycle?
I have some parts coming there on Friday, so depending upon the timing of when they arrive, will definitely make that decision for me. So this week I'm a bachelor. Michelle is in Texas, visiting a couple of girlfriends back there. There was way too much estrogen for me, so I decided to stay home.
Well, good. I'm sure that the girls can have a much better time talking about you with you not there.
Absolutely, that was the plan from the get-go. Recall getting any kind of an invitation. Thanks for doing the net, guys. You have a great day, and good to hear you. And thanks again. You guys take care. W6EK PJ.
You take care too, and be sure and get the house cleaned up before Michelle gets back. This is W6EK K06MMI. Good morning, Jeff.
Good morning, Theta. Good morning, Coffee Break Net. Sorry about the small delay there. I was just getting my elbows out of the dishwasher there, out of the dish soap, I should say. This is K06MMI. This is Jeff over in Old Roseville, and I was enjoying the chat about all the Alfred Hitchcock. I was very much the much uninitiated Alfred Hitchcock person until my wife, now wife, then girlfriend, instructed me that there would be no continuing relationship without me at least watching some movies, and I have grown to love Strangers on a Train, and I think that I'm likely the minority. My wife's favorite movie is Rear Window, and let's see, she was very adamant because she took Alfred Hitchcock as a class in college for her undergrad.
Wow, that I never had that option. I like that college class.
Yeah, she initially majored in English literature, and also, I don't know the exact nomenclature of upper graduate work, but it had to do with cinema, and Alfred Hitchcock was one of the classes. I remember that classic horror movies, or horror as a genre, was a class. Very interesting coursework compared to mine.
Well, sounds like fun. I can just imagine my dad griping about me taking classes where I went into school and watched movies. that just would not have gone over.
Yeah, I can imagine so. For me, it was a very different story, but I fondly, as you're saying that, I'm fondly remembering high school. I had an empty first class that I had to drop my little brother off, who was 9 years younger than me, off at his elementary school, and I would get to high school or have nothing to do in the time before my first actual class, so I made a deal with the librarian to use her kind of the back area where all of the videos were kept, and she let me use the VCR, and I would pretty much watch a movie every morning.
Wow, you know, it's a hard life, but somebody's got to do it.
Oh, yes. We can all remember the fond and great parts of our lives, but of course there are the harder issues.
Indeed. Well, so have you watched the Hitchcock movie recently?
Not recently. The last time that we actually did go see Strangers on a Train at our local theater in Roseville when they were offering it. I think this must have been about a year and a half ago. My wife and I like to enjoy horror movies. I just don't find Alfred Hitchcock movies to be that. They're not really speaking to me. Not to say that they're bad or not quality, just I guess maybe going over my head, as it were.
So your wife likes horror movies also? What's your favorite? I guess there are a whole series within the series of horror movies, right?
We are both horror fans in general. We love scary movies and probably watch more scary movies than anything. We really enjoy Halloween, and we have movie marathons. Some recent scary movies that I would only ever, I'll give high content warnings for these recommendations. Anything that A24 has made, A24 the movie studio, i.e. Hereditary. My wife believes that this movie should have won an Oscar. We also enjoyed Midsommar. But like I said, these are graphic movies for not the uninitiated.
I am not a fan of horror movies, and I think part of that is when I was in, it must have been Germany, so I was in middle school, and there were movies that we lived on base, so there were new movies every week, and we were watching some scary movie, probably not full horror back then, but scary, and some kid behind me reached underneath the seat and grabbed my ankles, and I screamed bloody murder and ran out of the theater, and I don't think I've ever enjoyed a scary movie since then.
Those are definitely the events in life that sometimes you never can recover from, unfortunately to say. I went to go see Jurassic Park when it came out with my parents, and in the scene where the raptor jumps up into the roof to snap, they did that, I guess, like a forced perspective shot where the dinosaur almost seemingly comes out of the screen, and I remember both parents grabbing my knee at the exact same time and squeezing and making me yelp very loudly in the theater, much to my dismay.
Oh, yeah, that was a good moment. The other one was Jaws. We went to see Jaws. I think that was the first time Gerry realized he couldn't take me to a movie that had any scary elements in it. When the shark is swimming at them and he's going to eat them, but he has a scuba tank in his mouth, and I'm yelling, "Shoot the tank! Shoot the tank!" Poor Gerry's were just so mortified.
That's a good way to end this. Jaws is, in, I think, many people's opinions, probably the movie of all time. I am right up there. I could definitely see that argument. Not my favorite movie of all time, but I would consider it to be probably one of the best movies, if not the greatest of all time. Hopefully this brings back a lot of memories for y'all. I'm probably going to be signing off here very soon. I've got some more dishes that need to get done.
Well, go wash the dishes and then carry on with the rest of your day.
Thank you all for having me. Thank you, Theta. Thank you, Gerry. Thank you all for running the net. Thank you all for being here for the net. And it's a pleasure to chat with you and listen. This is KO6MMI signing off. Leave you all right here, 7-3, and I'm clear and monitoring.
It's a pleasure, Jeff. This is W6EK for the Coffee Break Net. So we're talking about important things like your favorite Alfred Hitchcock movie. We could also talk about what's your favorite Girl Scout cookie because it's Girl Scout Day. And or do you like, are you a popcorn lover? And if so, do you like flavored popcorn? All kinds of really important things we can talk about today. Who's out there who wants to join in on the conversation? This is W6EK.
Hey, good morning, Theta. WB6BJN. Good morning, Theta. Good morning. WB6BJN.
Okay, let's see. We had some doubles there. I got you, Mark, WB6BJN. I got Greg, KO6TH, and then there were some pileups there. So who else?
KA3 Victor Golf Mike.
Okay, I got K3 Victor Golf Mike. Is that correct?
KA3 Victor Golf Mike. Kilo Alpha 3 Victor Golf Mike.
There you are, KA3 Victor Golf Mike. Jimmy, got you on there. Anybody else?
KO6.
Okay, let's see. I'm going to go to Greg, KO6TH. Good morning, Greg.
Good morning, Theta, KO6TH. There was someone keying up. It was KO, and then you stomped on the rest of them. You know, I'm picking up first.
Oh, I'm sorry. Who else was keying up? One more time. Who else is out there?
Kilo Oscar 6 India Mike Papa. I'm on a handheld and probably too far away. Let's just do it for the log.
KO6IMP Matt, we got you. You are a little scratchy, but we can hear you. I'll call you first right now since you're at least audible.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm actually using my handheld and my trailer over in Nicholas. Don't have any favorite Hitchcock movies. Favorite scary movie was the original Aliens. And with that, I'll hand it back to y'all.
Well, thanks for checking in, and we've got you. Okay, back to Greg, KO6TH. So your favorite Hitchcock movie or Girl Scout cookie, whichever you want to talk about.
Oh, good morning, Theta. Good morning, everyone. Greg, KO6TH. I haven't watched that many Alfred Hitchcock movies, so I can't really name a favorite. I mean, the most recognizable one, of course, is The Burge, but I don't even think I've seen that one all the way through. So, yeah, Girl Scout cookies. The ones what do they call those things with the coconut? The coconut and the chocolate and the caramel and wow. There are two reasons that they're my favorite, because I love the cookies themselves, and second is I had them all to myself because my wife hated anything with coconut in it. So I got them all to myself. So anyway, yeah, that'll be the choice. And I need to go do some errands today. If I see a Girl Scout stand lying around, otherwise unused and unloved, I will definitely stop by.
Oh, yeah, Samoas. I used to know all about cookies very intimately because I was a Girl Scout leader for years and years and years and years and years, and there would be cases piled high. You could thread through these aisles with all the cases of cookies. And but now they have kind of revamped the cookie sale, and I'm not sure they even sell Samoas anymore, which would be a tragedy, and I'm sure you would agree, because that was also one of my favorites. Next to Thin Mints, those can't beat the Thin Mint.
And yes, the Thin Mints was definitely that was the choice. Everybody loved those, but yeah, the Samoa that was the name of the other one. With the coconut. Anyway, I had a great day in the shack last night. Ran a little long. I had some difficulties with my PC at the end here. The Zoom session. So I was sharing my screen, and somehow Zoom kept running, but it locked up. I couldn't close the screen. So it was the end of the meeting anyway, but kind of an unceremonious end to it. So apologies for that. But we heard the ISS go by. It wasn't really a focus of the session. I had my scanner on, and it picked up the ISS. I didn't hear who was the station that made a contact through it. That was fast that we heard about 8:30, and yeah, congratulations. You are now an official space cadet. If you're still listening. And what else is going on? Yeah, like I said, a couple of errands today, and tomorrow. I guess we have the club meeting tomorrow night, so we need to have. This is your opportunity to go out and pick up some goodies for the food closet. I always do that the day before, and I wondered if we had any recent suggestions on what is needed at the food closet. KO6TH.
Yeah, that was KO6KBH that made the contact through the ISS. I have not heard any specific things requested for the food closet. Typically, paper products. Just looking back on previous months, lunchbox stuff, peanut butter and jelly. Things like that, obviously things that don't need cooking, but are shelf stable. So that would kind of take care of it.
Okay, well, I'll graze the aisles and see what looks good. I feel kind of guilty. I've been a couple of times I've grabbed something that looked interesting. And then afterwards, I get home and I look at the sodium content. It's like 900 or 1,000. It's like, whoa, that's not good food. And so I've stopped getting that stuff. It was chili or something, which is off the charts in the sodium category. So anyway, all the day, I guess. I got, like I said, I got a couple errands to take care of. I got the some bushes out in front that were quite diseased and affecting the area around them, including the tree that they were underneath. So they have been removed, and got to do some cleanup from all the ground litter around it. All there's just a very thick bed of leaves that needs to get thinned down so it doesn't continue to affect things. Anyway, a lot of things to do. Oh, we got the board meeting tonight as well. So on with that. KO6TH 73, and have a good day.
7-3 to you too, Greg, and you have a great day, and the tree appreciates you taking care of it. This is W6EK KA3VGM. Jimmy, good morning.
Good morning, Theta. Good morning, Gerry. Good morning, Rocky. Good morning to everybody else out there. Not doing a whole lot this day. It's semi-cold back here in Pennsylvania. It's only supposed to go to 40 today. But what makes that cold is we were all the way up to 75 yesterday. So it went from 75 back to 40 in a couple of hours. So that feels kind of cold, even though several weeks ago we'd have thought 40 was hot. And it is cloudy today. Supposed to get more rain and wind tomorrow, though, also. And next week is supposed to be really cold again, so we shall see. W6EK for VGM, back to you.
Well, you know, it takes Mother Nature a little bit of waffling back and forth before she decides to let it be full-on spring or summer. Hopefully your trees haven't started to bud with the warm weather and then they get frostbite again. Yeah, you'll come out of it. It is March, so this is the shoulder season, and spring must be close behind.
Yeah, Roger, but that's the problem. Or I wouldn't say the trees have started to come out yet. I don't think they're out yet. But we have a lilac bush in the yard, and it has buds all over it, so they'll freeze when it gets that cold, as well as the daffodils. And any local fruit that has started to bud will probably freeze. And that's a big situation for me because I like fruit. And good fruit is hard to get back here in Pennsylvania. Let alone what little we have, it freezes. So hopefully it won't all freeze. And as far as your questions of the day, I'm not an Alfred Hitchcock fan. I really don't like that kind of stuff. As far as Girl Scouts cookies, I'm with you on those. I like Thin Mints. They're my favorite. I am a mint person. And I also like those Simones as well. So I'm with you on those two flavors of cookies. But anyway, Theta, that's about it. I think I'll say 73s and listen to the rest of the net and see what everybody else is up to today. K3BGM, back to you.
Brief comment.
Well, you have a good day, Jimmy, and thanks for checking in. WB6BJN, Mark, what's the spring forecast for us?
Theta, you come back so fast, you stepped on a comment. You want to get your comment?
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, go ahead, comment.
Thank you very much. This is Jeff, KO6MMI. I just wanted to reassure everyone, Samoas are still being produced under a different, they're being produced under a different, bakery, and they are now called Caramel Delights, DELITES. They are still the exact same makeup, just a different bakery. That's all. KO6MMI out.
Okay. Well, that's reassuring. Like I say, this weekend I have to go stake out grocery stores and find the Girl Scouts. So I'll try that out. Thank you. Mark, back to you. Good morning.
All right. Very good. Thank you, Theta. And, well, it's spring is early this year, and that's where we have the risk of freeze. You certainly don't have that problem in California yet, although it's not impossible that it could happen down the road. I've seen freezes in California in April, and this is March, and they're talking 90-degree plus temperatures next week in places in the valley. And that certainly doesn't say that you still can't have a freeze if the weather pattern makes a complete flip, and it could do that. So hopefully that does not happen. It looks like that's going to happen back here, but we'll see, and I'll talk more about that in a minute. But I hope you are doing well. We're doing well here in Tennessee. I got my brand new radio yesterday. Well, it's not a brand new radio, but it might as well be. It's a Kenwood TS 590SG, and it's sitting here on the table. And I got to get some memories out of my other radio that I want to put into that new radio before I hook it up. So I got to do that today. Hopefully we'll get it hooked up tomorrow. But boy, we are so excited there. Go ahead.
Oh, very good, very good. That's a radio that's usable for you. That's compatible with your what do you call them? My brain's at a loss. The readers, the things like that.
If it wasn't, I wouldn't have it sitting on the desk. I don't use inaccessible radios. All of my radios are accessible. I just went through that when I first got my ticket way back over 50 years ago. That's probably why I don't buy Yaesu gear, because Yaesu's I was talking about this with somebody the other day, and I'd buy a Yaesu radio if they got some good equipment. And, there's a lot of good equipment out there, but, if they're not interested, and I guess one of the guys that's kind of, ahead of that for the United States kind of made the implication that we don't really want to do that. They're so busy producing radios that they don't want to make them accessible. There, go ahead.
Well, that may be short-sighted on their part, because I am sure that there's some people that maybe don't necessarily need the accessible features, but would go to a different radio just because Yaesu is not being helpful.
Yeah, I don't know. And accessibility, that's kind of an interesting situation, because speech devices, if they were in there for sighted people, are sometimes kind of annoying. Although I think they could make them so that you could turn them off. the only complaint I have about sometimes about these things, you can't turn them off or sometimes turn them down, and they sometimes can bother other people. And I think partly for a lot of people, it used to be considered, oh, that's a novelty. But when it comes to us, like somebody said yesterday, us blindies, that's not a novelty. That's a given thing. That's our way of reading the screen. But I think for a lot of sighted folks, I had a friend of mine who used to come over and want to do his banking on my computer. I didn't have a problem with it, but I forgot to turn the speech off one day, and he just absolutely went crazy. I said, "Oh, let me turn that off for you." So I could turn my speech program off for him. There goes
W6EK. Oh, use your computer for his banking. If everything gets loaded on there and saved, you could go tap into his checking account. That sounds risky on his part.
W6JCZ.
You've got a W6JCZ in there with a comment, Theta.
Yeah, go ahead, comment.
W6JCZ, Gerry, going off what Mark said, in today's day and age, it's, in my opinion, inexcusable for a radio not to have speech. I mean, back in the 80s and 90s, you had dedicated speech synthesizers that probably sounded like a TI speak and spell, and it was a separate board. But nowadays, CPUs and DSPs are fast enough that, as certain manufacturers have shown, you can do it all in software. No hardware needed, just a couple of extra CPU clock cycles to implement full voice readout. So there really is no excuse for radios not having that function. W6JCZ back to net.
Yeah, that's probably true, Jim. But the excuse is nobody wants to bother with it. Most of them don't deal with it. That's the problem, and it's too bad. Kenwood does. In fact, Kenwood is making radios with speech built in now, since they no longer can get the chips. But anyway. And there's computer software that allows a blind person to do some of that too, but I don't want to have to depend on a computer all the time to run my radio. I like having built-in stuff. So if I take my radio someplace, I don't necessarily have to have a tablet or some sort of a computer device. I guess is where I'm coming from. Anyway, I like good horror movies. That's why I like Stephen King. That's why I read his books. And if he has some horror flicks that are out there, I watch those, such as Storm of the Century. I like The Birds by Alfred Hitchcock. That's probably one of my favorites. It's easy to follow as a blind individual. And Storm of the Century, since I'm a weather guy, is probably my best little series that was a Stephen King thing that was done on television with Andre Lenoche as the little devil guy. So, and I like, of course, Stephen King books. You know that about me. So there's my horror thing, and it doesn't bother me because I know it all isn't true. At least the biggest part of it, and I like good murder mysteries too, which some of those are true. So there you go. And Girl Scout cookies, I love the Thin Mints. Those are good. Those are good. And now we'll talk about the weather. After your comments there, Theta.
Oh, okay. I thought we were going to go talk about the weather. Yeah, I like the Thin Mints, and I like them frozen. So you have to sneak into the freezer to get out 2 or 3 at a time. Anyway, yes, tell us about the weather.
Well, there really isn't anything to talk about in California. It's boring from the standpoint of being nice. Nice weather is boring weather, especially to a weather buff who likes weather. But it is wonderful weather. It's nice. And in fact, I'm hoping that we have days that are sunny and warm, a few of them here, so I can go out and start building my tan, which I did last year. And so, because I got a nice deck I can sit on. It's too cold today. Yesterday, it was like what Jimmy was talking about. When I woke up yesterday morning, here it was 72 degrees at 2 o'clock in the morning. It got up to about 75, 76, and started to thunder and lightning and rain. And then roaring cold north wind came in last night. And now it's down in the 40s today. It's only going to get up into the 50s. But we'll talk about that more in a minute. For California, it's going to be hot, downright hot by next week. It's going to get into the upper 80s and 90s. And, you know, here in a few months, everybody's going to be sniveling that it's too hot. Oh, I wish it would cool off. Be careful what you wish for. And you know, it's kind of working on that early out there in California. They say that record high temperatures could be in jeopardy, Theta, next week. And there's even parts of Southern California that could literally be over 100 in some of the inland valleys of Southern California next week, which I find, you know, for March, that's just absolutely incredible. And it's all part of the same pattern and for the same reason that at some point it's going to get cold here next week. So back over there to you. Fair skies and warm to almost hot temperatures for the foreseeable future there. Go ahead.
Morning, Mark. This is Gerry, W6EK. Well, I'm sitting here looking at a map, and the forecasters have said exactly what you're saying. It's going to get hot here. So I like to be out ahead of everybody, so let me be the first to bitch about it. It's too hot. Much too hot. When will this hot quit? There. I've made my claim to fame here. What's concerning more to us here, and you know, you live here a long time, so you understand that is the water. You know, this portends an issue with water. I went on a bike ride yesterday and rode all around the trails at Folsom, and as part of the trail, the Johnny Cash Trail, I came up to the dam at Folsom and looked out over the lake, and it is just a or two from being full. So we got plenty of water here, but they got to let it all downstream to feed the fishes. And looking at the national map, I see Tennessee sitting underneath a big fat high. Some rain to your east, but you should be enjoying that weather. Maybe 72 at night isn't any good, but you know, that's where you live, so you're going to enjoy the heat too, it looks like. Comment? Oh, we have a comment. See if you can get in before Mark starts up.
KB6LUV, Brett here. And then a quick question for Mark, W6BGN. You were talking about tornadoes yesterday in your part of the country, and it got me thinking about, you know, all of the folks that are here in Northern California who have difficulty with getting fire insurance. Do you all have tornado insurance, and is that possible to get? KB6LUV.
You know, Brett, I don't know. That's interesting. I don't think that I have any tornado insurance, not on my renter's insurance that I use here. I don't know whether I'm covered or not by that. I've not heard of that. You'd think there would be. But I got renter's insurance because I rent. So I guess if there's a disaster, I have to ask Sarah about that, looking at the policy or something. That's interesting. And Gerry, yeah, you guys are going to have a water problem, and you're assuming that all high pressure areas are warm. Not all high pressure is warm. That the high pressure that's over us right now is not warm. It is a high pressure area that came down out of Canada. So it will actually warm up a little bit when that high moves away and the winds turn from northerly back to southerly. Back here, north winds mean what they mean. It means colder temperatures, not like in California where it downslopes off a mountain and it heats by compression from the north and northeast. When we get north and northeast winds here, that usually means it's coming out of the north. It's coming from the north. It's north winds in the valley mean hot temperatures. South winds in the valley mean it's going to cool off because they come up through the delta. So it's backwards in California than it is here. There, go ahead.
Yeah, it sure seems to be. And by the way, Theta and I were living in Dayton, Ohio in 1974 when they had a huge series of tornadoes come up from Kentucky and into Ohio and from further south of Kentucky. I don't know if it started as far south as Tennessee or not, but we had a tornado that just virtually wiped a town off next to us. The radars at the Air Force Base went as high as 50,000 feet, and it topped off those. And we went out to the town to do recovery, and it was just torn up something fierce. So, you got to live with it. And Brett, I consulted ChatGPT, and it says, that some in high-risk areas are having trouble getting insurance. And they say it's not necessarily tornadoes that drive it, because those are very narrow paths and so forth, not like a wildfire that wipes out an entire community. But hail damage, that's where the insurance companies that cover that kind of thing back east are getting pinged. So they're increasing their deductible for hail damage and pressing on. And so, is your mother able to get tornado insurance in Kansas, Brad?
That's a good question, Gerry. She also does not own her home, so I don't know what insurance that the homeowner has on the house. She also lives in an area where she claims that it's somewhat protected from tornadoes in Newton, so I don't know how true that is. I always kind of giggle when she tells me that. It's like, I live in a protected area from tornadoes. I'm thinking, well, okay, high, and not so high. KB6LUV.
Well, as I'm sure Mark will confirm, they do have tornadoes here from time to time. In fact, not too long ago, there was a little meme that appeared that was floating around about a tornado that occurred in Roseville, and it showed one of these little plastic picnic tables with 4 plastic chairs around it, and one of the chairs was knocked over, and that was the damage from the tornado. Back to you, Mark.
Well, there is no such thing as a tornado-protected area. I'm sorry to disagree with that, but there's no, it's like people who say tornadoes can't, if you live on a hill, it will bypass you. That it'll go up over the top. Now, I had one here that I do live on a high spot that did lift when it went over my house. That is not, I repeat, that is not a guarantee. If there's a tornado and it took out houses in my neighborhood and missed mine, I think I think that was God. But from what I've learned, Brett, and there is no true if you live in Tornado Alley, there's no true, and Kansas and Oklahoma are kind of in that now. Kansas and now Dixie Alley, which is where I live. Really, I'm in part of Dixie Alley. That's part of Tornado Alley has kind of moved southward. Some of the worst tornadoes have been in places like Alabama, parts of Kentucky, like Gerry, like you were saying. Tennessee can have them. Well, I had one, and it wiped out a lot of houses. My next door neighbor's house, which isn't on a hill, got wiped out. Mine didn't, and we sure heard it though. And I ran for the bathroom. Sarah said I didn't know you could run that fast, but your mom might be living in an area that's flat, which is can be if she's kind of down in a ravine maybe, or down might be, but there's no true from what I've heard, there's no such thing as truly protected. Mountains don't stop them, and hills don't necessarily stop them. In fact, Denver, Colorado had tornadoes that they thought they were safe from, and they had them. So it's kind of interesting. So yeah, but I'm glad she hasn't been affected by one, because she is a neat person like you are, and it was sure good to hear her when she was here in California. And let's see, I'll finish my weather thing because it's 11 o'clock, and then I'll bid you all bye. For back here, we are under high pressure. We got a barometer reading right now of 30.33, but it is colder today, Gerry and Theta, than it was yesterday. Yesterday at this time it was in the 70s, and that's because there was warm air ahead of a cold front that brought showers, thunderstorms, no big severe weather here. But get this, day before yesterday in Kankakee, Illinois, where I hope they had good hail insurance, they had hail the size of grapefruits under severe weather, and they also had tornadoes. A place called Pontiac, Illinois, was ravaged. This little burg out in the middle of nowhere. And I guess Chicago had some pretty rough weather, but they didn't have the hail that Kankakee did. Grapefruit size hail with 70-mile-an-hour winds. That could kill somebody if you're in the right spot. But nice weather. There's another cold front coming this weekend that could affect the Midwest and also the deep and mid-south, and we could be in for freezing temperatures next week while you guys are basking in heat. Back to you, Gerry, or Theta, who's ever at the mic, WB6BJN.
Yeah, this is W6E. Well, it's one good thing that we as humans can't control the weather. We'd be arguing over that, too, and no telling what we would get. But I'm glad you're safe there. And, all of us here on the net are somewhat of experts in tornadoes. I know I am. I've seen Gone with the Wind twice, so that's enough to give me enough scared responsibility for it. My cousin lived in Wichita Falls, Texas, most of his life, and I remember his house got blown away with a tornado. He told me he heard it coming, and he went into the bathroom and crouched down in the bathtub, and he had time to say the Lord's Prayer twice, and the house was gone. And when we went over to Xenia, Ohio, Theta and I, and we were looking around, the neighborhoods were just gone. The tornado was 1.5 miles wide or something like that. But every now and then there would be one that was untouched, just kind of left standing. And you often, same in a wildfire too. Here and there one will survive, and you wonder, why me? Why didn't I get torn apart? Well, go to your next net. Thanks for checking in with us, and we'll see you mañana.
Hey, thank you, sir. And yeah, it's amazing. And of course, my belief and faith in the Lord, that's I feel, and my neighbor, thank God, wasn't home. Their children were, but they were unharmed, and we took in their children until the parents got home. That was in December 11th, about, 3 years ago? When was it 2 years after we moved here? Was it a year before last, or yeah, something like that? It was on the 11th. It was a Saturday, and I heard that thing coming, and Sarah said, "No, you could run that fast." She said, I ran toward that bathroom, and she said, "You didn't touch a wall one." She says, like you could see what you were doing. And I jumped in that bathtub, and she was right behind me. And we slammed the door and heard it whish by, and then she looked out and went, "Oh, my goodness." Talk to you all later. Everybody have a blessed day. WB6BJ.
Well, you have a blessed day too, Mark, and thanks for the information. And stay safe and stay close to the bathroom, I guess, just in case, for a bunch of reasons. You have a great day, and say hi to Sarah for us. This is W6EWF for the Coffee Break Net. Jim, W6JCZ, you have anything else you want to mention for the Coffee Break Net? Oh, he's probably at work taking care of business. Well, this is the Coffee Break Net. I am W6EWF, and I'm taking check-ins. Who wants to talk about Alfred Hitchcock movies or Girl Scout cookies or tornadoes, whatever your preference is. This is time for having conversation. Who's out there?
N2DYI.
K6DCL.
Okay, I got Dave, K6DCL, and Patrick, N2DYI. Good morning, Patrick.
Good morning, Theta. Good morning, Gerry. Well, it's just afternoon here, but it's morning for you, so good that. Yeah, so Mark was talking about kind of the drastic temperature changes. Yesterday here it was 86 degrees, and same in Baltimore. I have a friend in Baltimore, and she told me this morning it was 86 degrees yesterday afternoon, and it's snowing there this morning.
Schizophrenic weather.
Just a little bit. Yeah, it's crazy. Our high temperature was at midnight, and it's just gotten colder, so now it's 45 degrees here. High temperature was 75 at midnight. So yeah, we had some thunder this morning. It's definitely Thursday. I got the pressure drop, and I got the headache, and it told me it was Thursday.
Isn't that fun? You had no idea that your life ambition was to be a barometer.
Yeah, and a Thursday detector, apparently. Because that seems to happen more often on Thursday than any other day, at least in this part of the year. I don't know why.
Well, everything here is much too delighted to burst forth, and there's pollen everywhere. Gerry said he had to hose off his bike from the bike ride he went on yesterday because it was yellow from all the pollen.
Yeah, we have a similar thing here. So I am already on the Zyrtec. Anyway, hope everybody here is doing well. I don't really have all that much to add to the net. I got a couple of things that need to be done, so I'm going to go out and do them. And got some some stuff done this morning. Got a few things that need to be taken care of this afternoon. Got an appointment or two that needs to be, I actually need to submit an invoice because I rather enjoy getting paid. And, yeah, on with the day, I guess.
Oh, well, work that actually pays you is a very nice thing to have. So, yes, take care of that first. And otherwise, have you ever managed to restore any of your systems up in New York?
Not really. I did get access to my NAS, so I have access to all my data again, but my radio stuff is down forever, or at least down until I get back there and take a micro SD card out of a Raspberry Pi and manually edit some files and fix it. So that's not coming back, at least for a while. But I did get access to the NAS, which right now is all I really care about.
Oh, yeah, that's the important stuff. Well, good. I'm glad that you succeeded in doing that. So we'll mark that as a win. And otherwise, yes, I'm very sorry that you're having Thursday.
Yeah, I mean, it's a cyclic thing, I guess. These things, they happen once every 7 days. Oh, well, anyway, have a good one, Theta. Good to talk to you guys again. W6EWF into DYI.
You take care and say hi to your mom for us. We always enjoy hearing her in the background when she chimes in. This is W6EWF, K6DCL. Good morning, Dave.
Hey, good morning, Theta. I had to jump at the chance to get in. I have not been lucky lately the past few days. Seems like Ratchet Jaw is the tune of the day. And I don't know. I don't know whether I like the constant talking from certain individuals, or all individuals. It's not what I'm used to, but I guess change is flowing, and it is what it is. Maybe I'll go do something else. But anyway, other than that, not much going on here. Learning more about my new radio, and that's all that's going to come in. So I got the HF and VHF and UHF and VHF in the car, all Yaesu. So I've switched over to Yaesu and from Icom, and it's okay. I get good quality audio, both income and outgo, and they're great radios. I always was a Icom aficionado when Kenwood kind of got out of the picture to a degree. When I first started, I thought Kenwood was the king of the hill. But anyway, that's about it, Theta. Thank you for being there. Appreciate it. And you all take care. K6DCL.
Well, you take care too, and have a lovely day. Enjoy the nice weather out there. Go out and catch a little ray of sunshine. This is W6EWF. This is the Coffee Break Net. Let's see, things coming up. We have the monthly breakfast on the 28th of March. It's going to be probably a small crowd because that is also the day of the Loomis Ham Fest. So, skip breakfast, come have a coffee and donut and buy stuff. Or volunteer and then get a free coffee and donut and then buy stuff. It works for everybody. So put that on your calendar. March 28th, 7 a.m. If you're just showing up to do stuff, 6 a.m. if you're volunteering. So come volunteer, come enjoy all the camaraderie, and you might get to meet somebody face to face that you've heard over the air for a long time and never had any idea what they looked like. So that's always a worthy, even if you don't buy anything, that's a worthy reason to come. Tomorrow night at 7:30 is the club meeting at the Placer County HHS Conference Center at Auburn DeWitt Center. You can get there from the I-80 Bell Road exit. It leads right down into the DeWitt Center, and you can park there. Nice, secure parking, well lit, beautiful facility, very comfortable. So, and also bring a food bank donation. They usually want non-perishable things that could go in lunch boxes, granola bars, peanut butter crackers, peanut butter and jelly to make sandwiches, paper products. You always need paper towels, napkins, plates, things like that. So there are some things that would be very welcome from the food bank people. Let's see, and coming up, April the 6th is our VE testing, which will be at 7 o'clock at the Confluence Church campus in Auburn, California. We have an extra class that is being taught by Orion, and I'm sure that they are studying up and getting ready to take their tests there. So we expect to see lots of people coming in for their extra. Granite Bay VE group is this Saturday at 9 a.m. at the Rayleigh's Event Center on Douglas and Auburn Folsom Boulevard. So Gerry and I will be there. Come by and say hi and take a test, get an upgrade, get a license, fun stuff. Also, the Folsom VE team tests on the 19th at 6 p.m. in Folsom, and the location and booking and everything else is on hamstudy.org. Tonight is the weekly net on this repeater at 7:30. Eric, W6EMR, no, not different net. Anyway, yeah, I'm not sure who's running this tonight, maybe Smitty. It's ARRL News, Satellite Report, and Mystery Question. The Elmer Net, first and third Wednesday at 7:30 on the repeater. That's run by Eric, W6EMR, and that will be next week. Last night was in the Shack, so the second and fourth Wednesday is in the Shack on the club Zoom room at 7:30. And the first and third Friday is trivia night, so that's coming up. And those are some of the things that this club does, because this is a club that does things. Who is out there who wants to join in on the Coffee Break Net? If you need to be in and out, let me know. I'll put you at the top of the list. Who wants to talk to me?
Kilo 0 Sierra Sierra Delta out of South Dakota.
Well, Tim, K0SSD. Good morning.
And good morning to all my old California friends. I'm originally from California myself, born and raised in San Francisco Bay Area. I left about 20 years ago and moved to South Dakota. So, this is where I reside today. And truthfully, I miss the ocean, but there's a lot of things I don't miss. So anyway, just want to check in and say good morning. I'm a friend of Frank's here who's running the live stream, and I always like to support him. So you guys out there have a great one, and greetings from South Dakota, K0SSD.
So inquiring minds want to know, where in the Bay Area were you raised?
San Francisco. born and raised right there on the San Francisco border, Daly City. And in my adult life, I lived in San Mateo for a little bit. And before I left California, I had lived in Tracy. You know, when they had the big boom, housing boom out there in the valley, I moved to Tracy. I don't know. God, I lived there. I lived in Tracy for years. In my working life before retirement, I was the manager in charge of the Sunday paper at the San Francisco Chronicle.
Wow, that was an accomplishment. We have occasionally used to get the Sunday paper from that, and that was about 10 pounds worth of paper.
Yeah, it was quite an operation. I had well, you know, there's three operations: the Chronicle, the Examiner, and the Sunday. And I don't know, the Examiner probably had 15 people, the Chronicle had 15 people, and the Sunday had 200 people. So yeah, it was an accomplishment. I worked for the Chronicle for just under 30 years, but they closed their production. I moved off and bought a motorhome and traveled the country for a couple years and settled in South Dakota and never looked back.
Hi, Tim. This is Gerry, W6EK. I'm looking where your town is. Looks like a few more feet to the north, you'd actually be in North Dakota.
That is correct. I live right on the South Dakota-North Dakota border. The border is 5 miles. But yes, I do my POTA just across the border. There's a POTA area. So I do a lot of activations right there. And people are always surprised when they say, well, it says here you live in South. But I says, no, I'm talking from North today. But I also have 3 parks in my general area that I play in. But yeah, I run a full HF station, full legal limit station here. And yep, I do a little bit of everything. And like I said, I'm friends with Frank here, and I'm always come in to participate because I like to support my buddies. So anyway, you guys have a great one. I don't want to tie this up too long. K0 SSD out of South Dakota.
Oh, I'm not too worried about tying it up. Things seem to be slowing down a bit as we approach the magic hour. But yeah, I'm looking at the map. We've had a motorhome and we enjoyed traveling in South Dakota. Took our grandkids to Mount Rushmore several times, the Badlands, you know, the tourist spots. Oh, and Wall Drug, of course. I grew up just south of you. I was down in Stanford, Portola Valley area. So what drug you to South Dakota? I mean, yeah, the paper folded up, but now it's time to retire in Tracy. What took you out to the cold, the snow, and the hail?
A lot of the guys I worked with for, you know, the newspaper union had a kind of a crazy thing where we had what we called travelers. And because the Bay Area paid so well, lots of union members from all around the country would migrate towards California. And a lot of the guys came from South Dakota. And one of my very close friends, he was from Sioux Falls. And when we retired, he kept telling me that I should check out South Dakota because I like to hunt and fish and all those things. And I'm a firearms enthusiast, which is, you know, kind of frowned on in California. That, well, not when I left as bad as it is today. But anyway, I traveled around the East Coast, and when on my way back towards the West Coast, stopped in Custer State Park in the Black Hills, and liked it so much that I bought a property there, about 15-acre resort there, but didn't make enough money, and I ended up losing it. And my daughter married a farmer. She met a farmer when we were out there, and she met a farmer, moved to the Aberdeen area. So I migrated out here when my granddaughter was born, and spent a few years working for a printing company out here, supervising crews. In between, I ran a newspaper in Wyoming called the Casper Star Tribune. I ran that paper for a couple years, and then, I don't know, I'm retired now. I retired 3 years ago, completely retired 3 years ago, and now I live in a little town of 200 people, and you would be hard-pressed to find 100 people here any day other than pheasant season and deer season. A lot of the homes here in this little town are owned by people in Minnesota who just come down here to hunt. But and that's how I like it. I really like it. No restrictions in my little town. I got a hex beam on the side of my house. It's only 10 feet off the ground that allows me to talk around the world. And only thing my neighbors ever say, the few that I have, why do you have that clothesline so high up in the air?
We're laughing about that because it does look like a clothesline. On the other hand, it's a great lightning attractor, and I understand why you live there. It's gorgeous in the summertime, probably fall too. Teddy Roosevelt would certainly agree with you. He loves that state. So I'm glad you're enjoying it. Before we let you go, some of the discussions we've had on this net range all over the place. Well, not too long ago, we were discussing wine and the fact that wine sales are way down, and some of the vineyards here in California are being ripped up because apparently the millennials and the new generations aren't that much into wine. Newspapers, are they still viable? Do they? And we don't subscribe to newspaper anymore. I get all the news I need on the internet here, you know. And if it's on the internet, it must be true, right?
Oh yeah, Frank would agree with that. If it's on the internet, it's true. No, the news is funny. Is I started working for the Chronicle just out of high school in 1977, and my buddy's friend, my good friend, his father was one of the supervisors or managers that ran one of their departments, and he all got us in the union and got in there, and he told us, you know, don't rely on this job. This is in '77. He says, you guys will not retire from here. So, you know, he pushed us to keep up our education and stuff like that. He says, because this is going to be here for a while, but it's going away. Well, 30 years later, I did retire from there. and I have a comfortable retirement. I was a manager. So I worked my way up from a young kid out of high school who was just a laborer to being the manager of the Sunday paper. And that is quite an accomplishment. I would say that was a hard accomplishment today without a college education.
Well, you're right. So I tip my hat to you. I remember we'd get the San Francisco Chronicle every day, and there were the green sheets for sports or something like that. And my mother just lived to read Herb Cain's articles or column in the articles section there. It was quite a deal. When I was a kid, there was a local rag there, the Palo Alto Times, and for a while I delivered papers off my bicycle and had to do the collections and the like, but I really wonder how much longer they're going to be around. Well, congratulations on beating the system, and I'm glad you're enjoying life up there in South Dakota. It sounds to me like you fit it's the right place for you.
Yeah, I really like it here. You know, if you like the outdoors, this is a great place. And just, I do miss California. I go to California. Well, I did. I stopped a few years ago now when my mom passed. But I used to go a couple times a year for my birthday and always went there to visit my mom. But we keep South Dakota a secret because, yes, it does get cold here. But we have, during the summer, you know, it's 75, 85 degrees, comfortable, no real humidity. But this year, I got all about 4 inches of snow. Right now, I'm looking out my window, and there's not a drop of snow anywhere. We're supposed to get some, but generally, the climate on this part of the state is a little bit more harsh than the west side, like the Black Hills. The Black Hills, you know, is very pleasant, and I really enjoyed living in the hills because you could get 4 feet of snow, you know, over a weekend, and it would be gone in a few days there because the climate is so much different on the west side of the state versus the east. But yeah, we try to keep this place a secret. You know, the people, it's funny that the residents of South Dakota don't like to advertise this too much because it's not near as harsh here as people like to say.
We do like the western part of the state, but that's just from a tourist perspective, and it's been great to travel over there. But yeah, well, also $1 goes a lot farther there than it does here. So congratulations on making your retirement. Also, let's just, since it's just you and me listening here, let's keep it a secret. I think your state bird is a mosquito, isn't it?
No, that would be the pheasant. No, yes, we get mosquitoes here, especially where I live. The little guys, not like my home in the Philippines. I'm married to a Filipino, and we have a home in the Philippines in General Santos City. And yes, Philippines, the mosquitoes there will grab you by the shoulder and fly you around the room. But no, it's not that bad here. We do a lot of active mosquito control in this area. The bugs problem is not too bad. I've seen it just as bad in the Sierras. So anyway, I'll spend enough time with you guys. I don't want to hold it up. So you guys have a wonderful day, and I hope to come out. I'm planning on a trip to California in the next few months to visit a friend of mine out in Tracy. He's getting a little older, and just like me. So I wanted to visit my friend, and when I do, I'm going to make a point to come and meet Frank. So anyway, you guys have a great one, and thanks a lot.
Okay, and on several days of the week, we have Brian, AI6US, who is the net control here, and he's married to a Filipino, when his idea is to retire and move to the Philippines, so you guys can get on and talk to each other for hours on end, I'm sure. And before I go, which Frank are you talking about when you say you want to visit Frank?
Well, I'm going to visit Frank, Kilo Golf 6, November, the person who runs the live streams.
That would be me, Gerry. Kilo Golf 6, November, Lima Whiskey. Good morning.
And there he is.
Oh yeah, Frank is a good guy. I've been participating with Frank and the guys. I also have a YouTube channel called Radio Brotherhood, though I haven't been that active lately. But I plan to post in a few more videos. It's funny that once you retire, I seem I don't have as much time as I used to. I felt I had more time to do things when I was working than I do when I am not working. I don't know. It's crazy how that works out. But yes, I have a YouTube channel called Radio Brotherhood. So if you ever wanted to put a face to the voice, my shack and a few videos are up there, and you can get an idea of what everything looks like here in South Dakota. So anyway, you have a great one, and hey, good morning, Frank. Well, we've been talking on text. You have a great one.
Okay, Tim, pleasure talking to you, and Frank will give it to you next. And if you come out this way, let us know. There's always something going on with our club. You can come join us, and we'd like to get to meet you. 7-3s, have a great day. This is W6E, and Frank, your head popped up out of the sand, so you get to talk. KG6NLW from W6E.
Oh, good. Okay, there we go. Gotta wait for all the links to link up there. Good morning, Gerry and the net, and good morning, Theta and Rocky and Tim and everyone else listening. Kilo Golf 6, November, Lima Whiskey. Tim, I guess you forgot I live streamed this. Secret about South Dakota's out in the bag to all 12 people watching and whoever might be listening. Lots and lots of fun. Not much else going on here, just doing the usual morning stuff, live streaming the Coffee Break Net, having fun playing a little FT8. The bands are atrocious this morning. I had to go all the way down to 20. Usually 10 is nice and ripe right about now. It's dead as a doornail for me. But I also have some front end